Last night, the Rams dominated the Cardinals. Rams offense looked really good. Defense made life really uncomfortable for Kyler Murray. And the Rams are a talented group. When you watch them play last night, that's when you remind yourself, oh, that's right, that's how they should be playing, where you have a elite quarterback, you got a pretty good running game, you got a couple of really good wide receivers, you got the best defensive lineman in the game, you got the best defensive back in the game, and you got edge rusher who's going to go to the Hall of Fame in Von Miller. But Matthew Stafford threw for just 6 touchdowns and 7 interceptions over his final 3 games, and we started to wonder, what are we going to get with Matthew Stafford? Now, there's a difference between big numbers and good numbers. Stafford had good numbers last night. Not big numbers, good numbers. He showed up when it mattered most. But this really feels like the offensive philosophy the Rams should have. A lot of time, what happens is you get caught up in, we want to be dynamic. We want to be offensive geniuses. Sean McVay, he's innovative. Then you want to get out there and start throwing the football. Well, I go back to Brian Billick. Brian Billick was with the Ravens, and he had, of course, one of the great defenses of all time. Well, he had an average quarterback, but he's an offensive-minded guy. He was an offensive genius. Well, he didn't get credit. It's really the Ravens' defense got all the credit, and rightfully so. You didn't really need much offense. In fact, I think Ray Lewis once said, just give us 10 points on offense, we'll win the game. But the Rams' defense, with Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Von Miller, they made some plays. And now you turn your attention to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs have already lost to L.A. once this year. They may not have an answer for Cooper Kupp or Odell Beckham. I don't think they're going to have an answer for Aaron Donald, but then who does? And then the Buccaneers could be without their Pro Bowl tackle, Tristan Wirfs. And if that's the case, advantage Rams. But you don't want to bet against Tom Brady. The Rams, if they play the way they did last night in Tampa, they're going to be a tough out. Absolutely. We'll come up with a poll question. I think Paulie's doing the honors today.
Yeah, I got a Fritzy one from this morning. Okay. Do you have a lesser opinion of Kyler Murray after last night's game? Yes or no? How could you not? Or is it, do you say like, well, one playoff game does not erase a pretty good start to a career?
Well, I have concerns about Cliff Kingsbury. I have more concerns about Cliff Kingsbury than I do Kyler Murray. Now, keep in mind, I can find articles from 2 months ago where Cliff Kingsbury, Coach of the Year, ? Oh, he's flirting with Oklahoma. You better lock him up. And I went, he's not going to Oklahoma. He wants to get a pay raise. And his teams historically are horrible to end the season. From the Action Network, the following. In Texas Tech, his career there as a head coach. In 2013, they lost 5 of the last 6 games they played. In 2014, lost 4 of the last 6. In 2015, lost 4 of the last 6. In 2016, lost 6 of the last 8 games. In 2017, 6 of the last 8 games. In 2018, lost 5 of the last 5 games. With the Cardinals in 2019, lost 7 of the last 9 games. 2020, lost 5 of the last 7 games. And then this year, lost 5 of the last 6.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that
what?
Stat of the day.
Other than that, Cardinals season was really good. You know, you don't have DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, that's big. Everybody dealt with injuries. You know, the Titans had more players on their roster playing a game this year due to injury and COVID than any team in NFL history. And they have the number 1 seed. Tampa's had injuries. They lost Chris Godwin. Antonio Brown went AWOL. Like every team has this. You lose a star player, a good player. Now what do? Arizona didn't adjust. It's tough replacing DeAndre Hopkins. He's an A-plus wide receiver. But you got to find other ways to win. And it feels like the NFL figures out the Cardinals later in the season. And then that was part of the problem where I'm watching this team and I'm curious, okay, now what do? I mean, Kyler Murray wasn't even a threat It's 6 yards. Rams rushed for over 140. But you look at Arizona, okay, got some defensive players there. You have to adjust. When you're not playing your best, can you win a game? And you see this every single year in the playoffs. There will be a team that will advance and not play a great game. But last night, the Rams were the better team. Now they move on. Started out Buccaneers favored by 2.5, and then it went up to 3. I think that's where it is right now.